very good evening and welcome to a special discussion on art television with Creatrix Events and Mighty Mini Club. Today with us we have Mr. Dinesh Vimalasekara, the Managing Director of Creatrix Events, together with Mr. Dirk Forbes, former President of Committee Member of Mighty Mini Club. So we're talking about a street motor show today that is about to happen on the 28th and 29th of September. That is at Green Path, Columbus 7 from 10 a.m. to 11 p.m. So this is the first ever outdoor street motor show, if I'm right, that is happening in Sri Lanka. So I'd like to direct the very first question to you, Mr. Dinesh. That is, you are the Managing Director of Creatrix Events. So what is Creatrix Events about? When was this formed initially?
Creatrix Events, first the name came after 2013. But we started the company in 2010. First it was called as Agni Extravagance. Set of us, the friends, we wanted to do an event. So at that time the hot topic was beach parties. So we were looking for a company or organization to do that. So we came up with the name this Agni Extravagance. So we started doing beach parties, and we continued to do like 5 up to 2012. And the other partners, they left, so I had to rebrand the company, and 2013 the Creatrix was born, and we were more into corporate sector. We were doing events for corporate companies, top leading corporate companies, and now we have grown as a good organization, a reputed company in the country.
Indeed, and that is how Creatrix Events came into life. Speaking of which, Mr. Dirk, I would like to direct the same question towards you. When was Mighty Mini Club formed and how did it form?
Well, Yashal, the Mighty Mini Club was founded in 1995, and it was my father, the late Mr. Ellsworth Forbes, along with another 30-odd members, and my father was the founder member of the club, and they decided to go ahead with members, or rather with people who like the mini car, and they created this club, and from there on, from 1995, the club has grown ever since.
And how many members do you have in total in the club?
Well, we started off with around 30, and now it has grown ever since, and now there are over 600 members.
Over 600 members. I'm sure you should be a proud member of the club, indeed. And Mr. Dinesh, what about Creatrix Events, and how many events have you done in the past few years?
As I mentioned, like at the beginning we started with beach parties, so we did about 5 beach parties. Then we got the call from the corporate sector to handle their events. So then we got busy in that segment. So then in 2018 we again moved out from the corporate sector and we started organizing these street fairs. So the very last one what we had was in March. That was the first ever street Aurudu fair. That was on March 31st. So that was the last event what we had. Now we are here today to talk about the present event what we are going to organize.
Indeed, speaking of the present event, we are here to talk about the street motor show happening in Sri Lanka. Significantly, this is the first ever outdoor show, if I'm right. So let's talk about the show. What do you have to, can you just give us a brief introduction as to what this is about?
Yeah, it's titled as Street Motor Show because I was fortunate to get that name because this is the first ever street motor show in Sri Lanka. So this is the same concept of now Sri Lankans, they are used to the indoor concept of motor shows. So this is like moving out of indoor, we are taking the same concept to outdoor, where we have added some value added things, like not like it just not a motor show, where it's like a event where you can come with your family and see your vehicles, and you can select a vehicle and you can see the modified segments, you can see classic cars, and you can also find financial support. It's like a one-stop station for you. You can enjoy the past, you can see the classics, you can see the modified, and you can get the idea, and then you can see the brand news, and then you can walk out with the vehicle.
Basically, you're saying there is no age restriction or any barrier. Almost anybody can possibly come here and simply enjoy the show.
And there are food stalls as well, so it's like a
that's important, certainly.
Certainly, yes.
So it's a collaboration of food and cars and motor, yes.
Yeah.
So speaking of which, Mr. Dirk, what about the activities of the club? What are the sorts of activities, different sorts of things that you get to do in the club?
Well, the club has different activities for its members. We have different CSR projects where we help the needy. And then there are trips that are done for the members, as well as we have Sunday drives. And there was one significant event which was done by our current president, Mr. Nimal Gururatnam. It was taking 25 mini cars by train to Jaffna, which happened last year. And it was a real great event, which was organized by the committee members and the president. And I think there are over 8 million viewers on YouTube who are on that, who have viewed that particular event.
I'm taking from you that was your favorite event out of all the activities from
Of course,
the club.
a lot of hard, dedicated work went into that, and it was the committee and the president who really went through a lot of stress trying to organize that event, and it was a real fun event for all the members.
Certainly. And we spoke of the motor show initially with Mr. Tenet. So I would like to ask you, what is your relationship with the Street Motor Show? Your club and Creatrix Events getting together in collaboration, and what is the relationship that you have?
Actually, I would thank Dinet for having us on board, Dinet. It was one of our committee members, Mr. Nimal Masure, who had contacted Dinet because they are also having a few stalls with Dinet. And because actually the International Minimoke Day falls on the 29th of September, and there's a drive happening from Morotua right up and ending up at the street motor show. And Dinet was already, he wanted us to end up the drive there, so whereas it will make his event more colorful, and we agreed upon driving we are hoping to have about 30 to 40 cars.
Wonderful.
And yes, so all will be driving through his event and hoping to make the show a bit glamorous.
Lovely. And could you give a brief introduction about the vendors that will be present there?
Yeah, we have Honda as a brand, one of the main vehicle importers in Sri Lanka. And apart from that, we have companies like Ali Brothers, Import Direct, Kasun Cars, and few other car sales who are displaying brand new car vehicles there. And apart from that, we have HNB, we have Insure Me, and we have the taxi app Beacon. And when you move into the modified segment, we have Ceylon Cycle Club. It's a motorcycle modification circle. And also Macquid Car Styling, that is one of the top leading Honda modifying company. They are on board. And apart from that, we have Pasta Mania as a food vendor. We have Coca-Cola on board. Yeah, and there are so many. You know, it's not like the food. It's what you find food stores.
It's infinite.
It's only in Green Path. It's a different segment where it's a unique segment in Green Path. Those food vendors, what you get.
So certainly this is a must-visit place. And yes, also I'd like to direct the question you once mentioned about how many cars will be there. So can you please highlight it again and tell me how many minis and mokes will be there at the show, especially since, like you mentioned, it is the International Minimoke Day, if I'm right.
That's right. International Minimoke Day is celebrated right around the world on the 29th of September. And we are hoping to have around 30 odd mokes and about another 20 to 25 minis, which will participate at this event. And hope the street fair will be glamorous by having all the minis there.
Certainly, I'm quite sure this will be a glamorous event and an eventful evening for all of us if you're visiting there on the 28th and 29th. And do you have any sort of a message that you would like to give to our viewers?
Come visit us.
Yeah, certainly.
And come talk to us, and you can tag us. You can follow us on our social media platforms, and come, witness the first ever street motor show in Sri Lanka, and also the color, powered by Mighty Mini Club, and you can see the first. I mean, it's an international event, and Mighty Mini Club, the parade. So it's a good opportunity for people who are loving motor cars.
So, Mr. Dinet, to ask you a little bit about the segments that you have in this event, what are the categorizations that you have in this whole motor show, street motor show?
So this is a street motor show. So mainly we have vehicle vendors, so where they are displaying their brand news and classic, modified, all these three types of vehicles. Plus we have the other vehicle related services like insurance, financials, car care products, stuff like that. And then we have the food segment, which is what is famous for, that is the famous segment in Green Path. So you have the food segment, and also I mean, to bring color to the event, we have we have some entertainment items that we have organized to carry out throughout the event.
Also, speaking of entertainment and stuff, what are the activities that you have involved in relation to entertainment in the whole event?
As I said, like, you know, the hot topic for the vehicle these days is the street motor show, and also the globally the hot topic is the Rugby World Cup. So
Yes.
mainly if you take the Rugby World Cup timetable, on Saturday there are 3 matches, and Sunday there are 2 matches. So that is during the event time period. So what we are going to do is we are going to put a live digital a big screen, a video wall, where we are going to telecast all 5 matches on both the days. That is the main thing what I think most of the rugby fans are waiting for. So while watching, while having a good meal, while and looking at their favorite vehicle, they don't have to miss the rugby match. They can
Certainly, like you said, let's be there on the 28th and 29th of September from 10 a.m. to 11 p.m. at Green Path, Colombo 7. I'm sure you'll have the time of your lives over there. It's going to be a glamorous event. And to remind you of the Mighty Mini Parade will be happening from 5:30 onwards on Sunday, that is the 29th. So make sure you be there as well. So that's about it for today. It's a wrap, and thank you for being on board. It's a pleasure to have you both.
Thank you, Aisha, for having us.
Lovely. Thank you so much. And that's all for today. Take care. Good night.